Hello friends, in a recent video I showed you how to make a tool for cutting circles in thin acrylic sheets 2mm or thinner without leaving a hole in the center or in your pockets. In this video I'm going to show you how to cut circles in thicker acrylic sheets without leaving a hole in the center and without using expensive tools like a laser cutter. To cut circles in acrylics we have two options. Following a line with a cutting tool, freehand style, or using a guide to follow the curve. If we go freehand, our best option is an angle grinder. It is fast, and if you previously cut off all the excess material around the circle, you can get a clean cut along the line. As these discs only make straight cuts, we must remove all around the marked circle, half an inch or less from the line. If we don't do this, we risk breaking the acrylic or the disc. Now we can cut along the line. When the acrylic is thin, it bends out of the way thanks to the heat. But with thicker acrylics, we must remove the trimmings as we go. We must also be careful with the grinder's locking nut, which can scratch the acrylic if the curve is large. It limits the angle of attack, so instead of cutting lengthwise, as would be with a small circle, with a large circle we cut sort of sideways. When we cut acrylics with power tools, either a laser, a grinder, a jigsaw or a Dremel, the acrylic burns, melts and releases vapors and dust. The smell is very strong and unpleasant. You will notice it. The smoke contains substances that are not toxic, but when they are in high volumes, they can irritate your eyes, your skin and your lungs, causing allergies, headaches, and breathing problems. For these reasons, you must use ventilation, goggles, a mask, and ear protection for the noise. If we don't have an angle grinder for acrylics thicker than 3mm, the next fastest cutting tool is a jigsaw, set at a speed of 1500 to 2500 SPM. We can also use a Dremel and a spiral cutting bit, set at a speed of 15 to 19,000 RPM, somewhat faster than the recommended speed for plastic. However, in both these cases, freehand cutting will end up with crooked cuts as it's difficult to follow the line with precision. For this reason, the best way to cut with these tools is using a guide or template. With a jigsaw, our template must have a diameter 7 centimeters smaller than the circle we need, so it allows for the distance between blade and guide. If we use a Dremel, our template must have a diameter 5.8 centimeters smaller than the circle we need, so it allows for the distance between the cutting bit and the guide. We must center the guide and fix it with a clamp. The Dremel can be quite fast with acrylics of 3mm or thinner and delivers a fairly clean cut. But with 6mm acrylics, it gets very slow, even if we add oil or water to the cut. On the other hand, the jigsaw is a much better option with acrylics of 6mm or more, but we must use a cutting method that lets us remove the acrylic residues that melt and get stuck to the cut while we are cutting, or we'll have to repeat the cut to remove those residues. This method means cutting along the line no more than an inch, then going back to make another cut that widens the path of the blade. This kicks out the melted acrylic. We repeat this process all along the line. Okay friends, here's our acrylic circle with no hole in the center. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please remember, give it a thumbs up, share it, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.